Okay. So I'm here with Andrew Bitrous. He's a former video analyst intern with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He spent some time in the summer league with them. He shared his expertise at the 2022 Nike Hoop Summit and with Pro Insight. And today he serves as a graduate manager and video analyst with the Oregon men's basketball team. So Andrew, how's it going?
It's going good. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Of course. So start off, just tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of what you've been up to lately.
Yeah. Currently I'm pursuing my master's in business administration with an emphasis in sports business at the University of Oregon. I'm also working with the men's basketball team as a graduate manager and like video assistant role. So I kind of help with the film distribution and kind of anything a manager would do and anything like a GA would do, kind of just help the coaches out wherever I can. But I'm originally from Portland, Oregon, kind of outside of Portland, Oregon, Happy Valley area. And so grew up in Oregon my entire life. Child of immigrants from Syria, so kind of first generation American, trying to make my family proud any way I can. But yeah, so I did my kind of throughout my life. Sports was always something I picked up on, and basketball is what stuck with me. And so high school didn't really play much, just played recreationally, played with cousins. Just got involved, not on like the high school level, but just more rec level. And then got to college and found out about an opportunity to work as a student manager for the University of Portland. So I was University of Portland student manager for 3 years, my sophomore through senior year. Worked for Coach Terry Porter for 2 years, and then Coach Shante Leggins for my senior year. So during that time, was able to pick up on a lot of various basketball operations responsibilities, a lot of stuff logistically on the road, kind of helping take care of catering, taking care of guys' needs and stuff, like getting jerseys ready to go for games. Kind of a lot of the more behind the scenes, I should say, work with the program, and then started picking up on film as well. It's kept going. Obviously, asked coaches a bunch of questions and kind of how they break down the film, and so was tasked with my coming into my senior year at Portland. I was tasked with a lot of like film work in terms of just obviously outside of doing basketball ops, spent a summer working with the program, doing a lot more basketball ops focus, helping the new coaches transition. And then they kind of assigned me some film tasks, cutting up games and pulling clips and stuff for guys, for coach whenever he needed. And then also help with the recruiting aspect of things at Portland when that came to creating graphics and help revamp our social media page. So I was kind of a spark behind that and just really picked up on a lot of skills along the way, but really basketball's always been a big part of my life for the past, I want to say 5, 6 years in terms of just working in the collegiate space, working with an NBA team. So doing a little bit of both. Basketball taking a lot of my time, but something I do enjoy a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I had to do a little bit of research about you before I
Yeah.
brought you on. Yeah, you are like nonstop, just like you've been nonstop in basketball for the last how many years? It's pretty impressive. And are you
Thank you.
you're, are you 25, 26?
I'm 24.
24. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
22. So we're not
Okay.
even that far apart in age, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
all the stuff that you're accomplishing. It's impressive, man.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
it's really awesome. You mentioned Terry Porter. I had no idea
Yeah.
he was at Portland or
Yeah.
University of
Yeah.
Portland.
So he
He
was there. Um, I think his last 2 years were my sophomore and junior year when he was at the program.
got you. I never knew he was at UP, but his college was University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. That's
Yeah.
my home. That's my hometown. So
Oh wow.
he's our NBA hero that we have to claim
Oh,
our
that's
fame
awesome.
to.
That's awesome.
So
No, Coach Porter is awesome. I know. Ironically, my dad grew up kind of grew up. He was like how my age, kind of watching some of the modern day NBA players play, like guys closer to our age, kind of play like an Anthony Simons, Ant Edwards, stuff like that. So that's how my dad was like Coach Porter. He kind of grew up through high school and college on Coach Porter. So the fact that I was able to go to school and then work for Coach Porter was a crazy, kind of like a crazy full circle moment, like small world. But it was really truly a blessing to work for him and just a Blazers legend and an NBA legend in himself. So he's a really awesome person. Really loved working for him.
yeah, that's awesome. So obviously basketball is your passion, and you kind of mentioned
Mhm.
that. When did you, not necessarily when did you, but are there any other like hobbies? Like how did you figure out basketball is what you want to do? Were you interested in other sports at all, or was
Yeah.
basketball just your passion from the start?
Funny thing is, I picked up on basketball late. So I first played soccer, kind of like fell in love with soccer, played for a year, didn't like it. This is maybe fourth grade, fifth grade. So I was still in elementary school, kind of like that age. And then I picked up baseball middle school. And so then I just also realized maybe soccer was middle school. Both of them were like kind of like past elementary school, middle school time. Picked up on baseball for a year, collected a lot of baseball cards. I was a big baseball fanatic. Thought I was going to do something with baseball. And once I played baseball, I was like, it's not for me. And then I actually was fortunate enough to get introduced to two coaches, J.S. Nash and Lamar Hurd. Lamar being now the TV analyst for the Trailblazers. But got introduced to them and kind of went through some of their clinics and stuff and started playing basketball, loved it. And then I knew I wanted to work in sports. I didn't know what capacity. I thought I wanted to become a sports agent, kind of work on like the marketing side of things. Always wanted to like do business and I knew I wanted to intertwine business and sports. Didn't know how. And I did DECA in high school, which is like a business kind of thing, business like organization. And so I did that, did like some sports marketing focused projects. And then when it came down to college, I became actually was a sports marketing and promotions intern with the University of Portland. So I just handled like a lot of game day stuff, kind of with soccer, baseball, basketball, volleyball, kind of like more game day promotions and kind of like fan experience. And then a buddy of mine told me about being hey, he was a manager for the team. So I was like, well, I kind of want to do that. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I can use that as a way to navigate. Cause I know I kind of want to work in sports as like an agent. So I thought, okay, maybe an agent. And then I picked up on the basketball side of things. I know I love basketball, like my love. Like that's the only thing I was like focused on, but I just didn't. I know I wanted to do like the agency side. And so when I did my first year as a manager, which was my sophomore year, I realized maybe I can go into this as like front office. Maybe I could do coach. Maybe I can coach a little bit. And so as I kind of picked up on it a lot more, started understanding the game from a different lens, I really knew I love this and kind of put the agency side of like agent dream to the side. I'm not saying like completely, but I was like, maybe I want to pursue something with a team. So work on the team side. So that was something I kind of knew to grow in love. And I think just part of that was just growing up a big NBA fanatic. So understanding a lot of transactions, kind of how teams are built and understanding that really helped push this goal and desire and dream of mine.
Yeah, totally. Um, so like you said, you're 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You were in my shoes not too long ago. Um, I'm sure our paths are probably a little bit different. It sounds like you were
Mm-hmm.
extremely involved on campus when you were an undergrad. But I don't know if you experienced the same kind of thing, but for me, there's a ton of pressure on me. Once you graduate, it's an open
Mm-hmm.
world, and you got to find your place. These next few months and years for me are pretty. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure, and it feels like
Mm-hmm.
every other day I'm making a decision that might put me on my career path and what my job might be eventually. Um,
Right.
so tell me a little bit about your time. I mean, I know you spoke about it a little bit, but a little bit about
Yes.
your involvement on campus, kind of what you think you did right to get you on this path,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of your mindset when you were in your last year of undergrad.
Yeah. So I guess my last year of undergrad, I actually credit this to the coaching staff with the University of Portland a lot. The Coach Legans, Coach Bobby Suarez, Coach Jeremy Pope, TJ Lippold, and then Alex Abrams and Thomas Moore. And then my buddies who were managers as well, Ellis and Nico and Isaiah. So we kind of all, the way the coaches, when they first came in, kind of set like a precedent of like, oh, this is what we're kind of expecting. This is what we want to really accomplish here. We want to, win basketball games and we want you to help us win basketball games. And so they want us involved in every aspect we can be. So when it came to recruiting, when it came to film, when it came to on-court player development, they're like, here, we're going to give you stuff. We want you to take control and kind of do whatever you want with it. So I took that as like a challenge, a personal challenge. I went to the coaches, like I've been working on graphic design. I taught myself Adobe Photoshop. Coach, I think we can pump this out to recruits. So, or commitment graphics, I should say. And so, sending those to the guys when they committed. I was just kind of helping with that. And I really learned to pick up on skills just because the coaches gave me like full access, like the keys to like, hey, whatever you want to do, whatever you think you can do. Here's like some projects I worked on as a manager, or I worked on trying to make my way. Here's something I think you can do. So like the coaches really showed me that the ropes. And so I just took that as like a challenge, not like in like a challenge more like I feel like I can do this and I want to do this to the best I can. And so that came with me just picking up on Photoshop and then sitting down with our video guy, learning how to clip up film and kind of understanding what it takes and what it looks like to really make sure it's all seamless. And then knowing what goes into a scouting report. So sitting there and kind of watching personnel edits and seeing how they create the personnel edits. And then in the summer, just spent the entire summer with the staff, just in the office every day, just working and kind of grinding, doing whatever they wanted me to be, doing whatever they wanted me to do, and then just being on call constantly. I was living right by campus, so just being around, hanging out with the guys in the summer during like the downtime, and then also spending time in the office with the coaches and just kind of being around them and like being a sponge really what's what helped me. And then just kind of a lot of it goes to just hustling, kind of finding times on the court when you can hustle, rebound, uh, make passes, put guys through workouts, and then even just wiping up sweats, like just the little things. Finding like a niche is what I was able to do, but really just asking a lot of questions. And then one key thing is like making your goals known to the coaches, and so I think they'll help you kind of aspire and chase those goals and dreams by just giving you those certain tasks as well. That also help with the program.
Yeah, no, I you said like a sponge. That's a great way to that's a great term to
Mhm.
use. Yeah. So after graduation, after you were done,
Mhm.
um, obviously you stayed in the Portland or the Oregon area at least
Mhm.
up until now. Uh, what was your did you reach out pretty far? I mean, for an internship or job search afterwards, were you sending out emails and applications all the time, or what was that like?
Yeah, so I think when I couple like a month or two, um, well, during the season, I was like using me. So during the summer, I should say, when I summer of 2021, because I graduated in 22, summer 2021, I went to summer league. So with the help of the coaching staff, they actually helped me find a way to get to summer league. Just put me in contact with the right people, and then I got connected through to Oklahoma City, and so was able to really build that relationship with OKC. And then at summer league, really networked a little bit and picked up. Just kind of met some people along the way. So stayed in touch with them throughout the season. And then the coaches had some people that they knew in the NBA, worked with teams, and put me in contact with. So I stayed in touch with them. Um, and so I was in the running for a couple opportunities, just sending emails out was what I did. And LinkedIn was my like a friend, I should say. Like I was connecting with people on LinkedIn, sending cold call emails, messages on LinkedIn, and then just using anything and everything I can, especially even on the college sphere, sending emails to coaches and kind of hoping for a response back, and then also asking the coaches, "Hey, do you know this person with this, or do you know someone here?" And so just using a little bit of all the resources I can, from LinkedIn to cold emails to networking at summer league and advanced, and then also just like asking the coaches is what really helped propel me, to like look for the opportunities, even when some stuff wasn't really going my way. I'm just still kind of persevering and pursuing these opportunities and just building genuine relationships.
Yeah. So out of the total amount of people that you're reaching out to and trying to connect with and opportunities that you're searching for,
Mhm.
I don't mean this in a negative way, but how many how many of those come back as
Yeah.
we're good, no thank you, and it's just rejection essentially.
I would say a good amount. A good amount. Just I've kind of faced a good amount of rejection, more than probably can count on my hands. Whether it's looking for a GA spot, whether it's looking for like an internship with a team. It's just kind of weird because it's post COVID and trying to figure out the hiring processes, and then even applying for things through like the league office. So just hearing a lot of no's kind of stung a little bit. But I really use that as something that helped fuel me and motivate me. Never took it to like to heart, understanding that it's just kind of that's how the workforce is. You're going to hear a lot of no's before you hear yes. So seeing what can you do in that space where you're hearing no's, what can you build, like how can you advance your skills to really put you in a position to maybe hear a yes again, or get your foot into an opportunity again. So I think just using that as like motivation, but also just kind of keeping my head down, or holding my head high, but keeping it down and working, and then kind of constantly pursuing something until a door does open.
Yeah, exactly. No, like I mentioned earlier, that I don't know if it's a new phase or some mindset
Mhm.
with our generation or something, but there just seems to be like a ton of pressure. And I think this negative mindset when it comes to
Yeah.
receiving rejection or something, people in our our age range want to get down on
Mhm.
themselves and I think they hold themselves to a little too high of a standard sometimes.
Mhm.
And it can kind of cause them to burn out a little bit or just not see things the right way. But I think what you said, yeah, use it as motivation and yeah, keep your head high, but keep it down and just like strive through it. Just keep pushing. If you
Right.
keep working hard, eventually you'll get there. I think you're going about it the right way. Obviously, it's paid off for
Absolutely.
you. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, no, great words there. Um, and then, yeah, I mentioned you have like a ton of experience already
Yeah.
at such a young age. Looking at
Mhm.
your LinkedIn, you have like a super detailed job history over the last like 3 years. Like I can't even believe more projects. You end one and you're onto a next project immediately. It's
Thank you.
insane. So I'm sure you've had to meet. I mean, and even the summer league stuff. You've met
Mhm,
hundreds of people, probably up to thousands of people now, job career related that you've networked with and connected with.
mhm.
So out of all those people through your career and your journey, who would you say has been the most influential towards you?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I would say I do have a few people. Um, I say Tim Grass was one who kind of helped me. He was really who pushed me to start kind of getting me connected to John from the start. And so that was my sophomore year when I was the first manager at UP. Tim was a our video director of video, and so just kind of like he knew um, about my goals a little bit. And so he kind of pushed me and got me connected to some people, which is awesome. Got me connected to the coaches here at Oregon. And then I would say Coach Jeremy Pope was somebody that I could just go to for advice a lot. And he was like a big brother to me and is a big brother to me. So just kind of reaching out to him and picking his brain on things. And then Coach Bobby Suarez and Coach Shante and Coach TJ and then Coach Porter. And I think just all the coaches really that poured into me. And our director of operations who I was there, Alex, and then prior to him, Forrest was with Coach Porter's staff and Coach Buchanan. They all poured into me, and then now the coaches here at Oregon, Coach Mike Menega to Coach Altman to Scott, and so I think just a group. It was just like more of a group effort, kind of those pouring into me. But I would say this Tim was really the first one to help me kind of realize that this could be something I want to do and pursue this like career. He was the one that really got the ball rolling for me, and so huge shout out to Tim and just kind of he's always constantly checking in on me, like how's things going, and I'm always filling him in and letting him know kind of what I'm working on and who I'm talking to and kind of just the stuff I'm doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, John has brought up Tim a few times.
Yeah.
I think I'm not totally sure. I might be
Mhm.
making this up, but I believe I might have an interview not lined up, but we're in talks. So hopefully I get a chance to talk to him and meet him. That'd be awesome.
It's awesome. No,
Um,
he's a good dude.
Good to hear. Well, then I'm excited if I do get the chance to meet him.
Awesome.
So you brought up Coach Shante.
Mhm.
I was gonna try to surprise you with that, but you brought him up a few times.
Yeah.
He once said, "Closed mouths don't get fed." Um,
Yeah.
in that great
I like
piece.
how this is going.
Um, Great words, great advice.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was talking about you, and just yeah, you have to separate yourself from the crowd and go out and get it and
Mhm.
stick out. Um, Aside from, I mean, you have to. That piece alone is referring to just getting out of your comfort zone and going up and talking
Right.
to people. Outside of that, or unless you want to speak more on
Mhm.
it, but aside from that, what is another great way for young people to kind of stand out from the crowd?
That's um I think going back to what coach said, like closed mouths don't get fed. And I think that just means if you want to pursue something, if something's on your mind, you got a question to ask, don't be afraid to ask it. The worst you can hear is no. If you're asking a yes or no question, I have to say, but like for asking for a favor, the worst you can hear is no. But like look at it, there's another alternative. You could hear something that, like a positive alternative, like a yes, and then they go into depth. So I think just asking for things, even when, maybe you're going to a coach, it might be seem intimidating or somebody in the front office and it seems intimidating, you're kind of nervous. I think just understanding that you can bring some value. So whatever value you can bring, and then applying that to what you want to ask. It's always great to really just ask the important questions, but ask what's on your mind, and you never know what door can open. And I think going back to what Coach said about closed mouths don't get fed, that really led to me. The story behind it is making jokes with coach throughout the season, like, "Oh, coach, I'm gonna get in on senior night. You're gonna put me in on senior night," stuff like that. And so it got to the point where I actually did suit up. He put me in a jersey. I had to go through NCAA eligibility process and stuff. He just brought it up abruptly, kind of randomly, but like, because I think this came by me asking and joking around, but like also like he knew how kind of serious I was and about like really wanting to suit up for senior night. Obviously, that was something so minimal for him, but like so big for me to have him help me do that. And so I didn't suit up for I suited up for senior night, but didn't play due to we played Pepperdine, so the game was super close. We were up at halftime. I thought my opportunity was going to come. Had family in the stands, but we played in a postseason tournament against New Orleans, And then I made a joke, not a made joke, I made a comment saying like, oh, like maybe coach can put me in the game. And then word kind of goes down the bench, and then coach looks down at me, he goes, go get your jersey. So I got the jersey on and was fortunate enough to play about a minute and 30 seconds in the game. So it's pretty awesome just to really to do that. But like just asking the important questions, but just not being just overall kind of don't be afraid to ask for something that you want.
Yeah. I think in that same interview they asked they asked Coach Shante if it had become a tradition and if they'd start doing it for other managers, and he shut it down almost immediately and said no,
Yeah.
not unless they find someone who is like as committed as you were to your craft and your task. So I mean that alone proved to me that uh, you proved to him how hardworking
Yeah.
you were, and that it does pay off, even in something like as wild as that. Um,
Yeah.
you got to make it work, so that's awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Um, so winding up here, one of the last few
Mhm.
questions. This is my favorite one. I hope to ask eventually everyone this question.
Mhm.
If I'm able to, I kind of want to compile them together and just kind of get everyone's response to this question because I think it is different. Um, but it's pretty important. It's something that I think about a lot. Um, it's inspired by John Wooden, the UCLA coach.
Mhm.
He gave a speech when he was 93 years old, um, and he got up on stage and he gave his definition of success.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure if you've seen the clip. It's an awesome video. I think it's like 16 minutes long, and he's
Oh,
like incredible, 93 years old.
mhm.
But my question for you is, what is your definition of success?
It's a good question. I'm ironic. I've always asked this question to a lot of people who I'm talking to as well. I would say success is even when you don't reach your goals, or not goals, but like even if you don't reach the height of something, that you're putting in the work and you're just working on yourself and bringing your value up, finding ways to bring your value up, and really just um, working as hard as you can, but also staying committed to yourself and your values. I think proves to show that can be like success. Is someone who works with integrity, someone who um, is caring for other people, someone who kind of puts we ahead of me. But I think just finding ways to grow in your passion, finding ways to grow in life, and understanding what that growth looks like is just a way someone could be successful. I think just it's all with growth, but it's also I think like working on yourself and self worth, and so understanding that is ways I think for me is to like can be successful outside of just career, outside of stuff like that. Just kind of uplifting yourself in the community, and uplifting the community, I should say, but really all bringing it back to constant perseverance and constant kind of growth.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome definition. I totally agree with you. Um, yeah, and that's again, it kind of comes back to what I think the mindset of. I mean, it's more than just me. There's a ton. Our,
Hmm.
our age group holds themselves to such a high standard.
Hmm.
Um, I think if you ask just the average person what their or someone our age, their definition of success, they'll probably say money and to be rich and to retire at.
Hmm.
And I don't think that that's necessarily the right answer. I think it's a weird mindset people have. I think the way you defined it is pretty similar to what I would say. Um, and kind of the whole point of these interviews, me asking that question and a ton of these
Hmm.
questions, and kind of what I want to do with getting the game. I don't know what John's goals are. Um, it sounds like we're on a similar page, but what I want to help do is kind of just give advice to people my age, people in our age group, and just yeah,
Hmm.
like you said, to me, success is growth of some sort, even if you don't achieve the
Right.
highest level. If you can
Right.
develop and grow as a person through whatever
Hmm.
project, period, internship, job, uh, anything.
Yeah. And one thing, if you don't mind, I'd love to add, kind of just came up to mind, but like I think also success is like asking the question, how can I impact those around me? What tools am I blessed with to impact those around me, and how can I provide and finding ways to really impact people, whether it's super minor, whether it's to the greatest extremes. I think just making people's lives easier, but also like brightening people's lives. I think is something I found um, as like something I carry as like successful and like what success can look like as well.
Yeah, totally. No, you're on the right page, man. You're on the right track. You have a great mindset. Um,
Thank
it's awesome. It's awesome to see you work, and I hope we can you know, stay in touch and keep moving forward.
you. Absolutely. Thank you.
So we have a little bit more time here. I
Yeah.
want to kind of keep it lighthearted, not too serious, towards the
Mhm.
end. So I'm gonna get back to some NBA talk. So is your team the Trailblazers?
Yeah. Yeah. Team's Trailblazers, grew up Trailblazers fan. Have some love for Oklahoma City still. So kind of rooting for both, a little bit of both. And then got one of my buddies is on the Suns, so Nas Little. So pulling
Oh,
for him as well. And then wanting to see Dame do well in Milwaukee. So got a little bit of both, but a little bit of stuff here and there. But growing up Trailblazers fan for sure.
yeah. I mean, I'm a Bucks guy. Grew up in Wisconsin,
Okay.
so Bucks fan. Um, I prefer to just say NBA fan, so I can just make everybody happy, and then I don't
There
have
you
to
go.
speak ill on any future employers. Knock on wood
Mhm.
or whatever. Um,
Absolutely.
but what are your NBA Finals predictions for this year?
Ooh, finals predictions. Um, I think Milwaukee, Phoenix. Milwaukee
Yep.
and Phoenix. Rematch of 2021, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. 21.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That'd be an awesome rematch.
It'd
Huh.
be great. I think just star power on both ends. And so I think just seeing Dame reach the finals for the first time, Giannis going back, and then obviously seeing Book with KD and then Brad Beal reaching the finals for the first time. So I think just it'd be very, I think, very like electric. I think it'd be a lot of like um fireness, but like it's gonna be competitive, I think, for sure.
Yeah. You think the Bucks can make it past the Celtics?
I think so. I think Dame's elite offensive ability can help. And then I think bringing on Pat Bev is somebody like who can kind of be a voice, be a dog on the court, will help them out. And then just Giannis, how he's always been elite. And then Brook Lopez has constantly kind of added to his game, expanded his game past. Obviously, now to the 3 point. So I think they do have uh, a good shot. I think just staying healthy is what really is going to help them out. But I think that's for every team is just to stay healthy. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah.
And then you see the Suns getting past. I can see the Suns just their experience, who they have. They have KD and Book. I mean, they have a
Mhm,
very experienced team. I
mhm.
can no offense to the Thunder or the Timberwolves. I can see them swinging past them. You think Phoenix is getting past Denver? I mean, you see that?
I think I think it could be doable. I think Phoenix with the addition of Nurkic, somebody that can really just um, I would say hold his own against Jokic. I think they've played together. They've played against each other, especially in Portland against Denver. That series, though, the conference finals record was out, but like even regular season games, I think somebody like that can. I wouldn't say contain Jokic because I think Jokic is so good. I think there's somebody that can really be a bigger body that can guard Jokic. Having Nurkic on the Suns helps a lot, and then like Kevin Durant's elite abilities, and then Devin Booker, just how he's able to score at all three levels, and then the addition of Bradley Beal as well. I think once they kind of gel with this team, obviously they made some moves, but as the season's kind of going on into the playoffs, I think they will have kind of enough time from now to the playoffs to really figure that part out and get to it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I don't think it's as you know, it's pretty wide open, I would say,
Mm-hmm,
or whoever the matchup would be in the finals. But I think it is
mm-hmm,
it's wide open, but it's like a great, I don't know, those four teams that we Celtics, Bucks, Nuggets, Suns. I think those are like
mm-hmm.
those would be my dream conference finals matchups.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's just some elite basketball. I love the Timberwolves. I love the Thunder. Out
Mm-hmm.
east. Knicks are fun to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
I love the Cavs. I love their core. I mean, and we just had an interview with Sonny Alawalia yesterday, and we spoke about the Warriors and the Thunder, or the Warriors, Lakers, and Mavericks are all still in there. I mean, if
Yeah.
if they get the right path, Dallas or not Dallas, but Clippers are in there.
Yeah.
Kings. The West is insane. I can't.
It's going to be awesome. I know the Kings. I also have a good feeling about Sacramento too. That's kind of like a dark horse that can make some noise. I think just kind of carrying off last year and De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. I think they can do. And then Coach Brown, obviously being as good as he is.
Yeah. No, they've kind of had a sneaky like it's a quieter season. It's kind
Yeah,
of interesting. I mean, like they're still competitive, obviously, but they're not
right.
being. I mean, and then last year was like a huge step for them. They made the playoffs first time for how many years? I understand that, but I don't know. Obviously, you're gonna have a ton of Lakers talk in the media, but the amount of Lakers
Right.
and Warriors talk I'm hearing in comparison to the Kings is like very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, do you have a MVP pick?
Oh, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it proudly. I think SGA is gonna get MVP. The way he's
Uh,
playing, I think I think SGA is, if he can carry Oklahoma City to a top three, which it seems like it's on the trajectory. I think he can get it. Um, Jokic potentially as well, but I think if SGA just keeps playing the way he's playing, and stacking wins, and then obviously contributing to just a lot around the team, I think he could be a good shot at getting MVP.
yeah, that'd be incredible. That kind of surprised me. I love
Do
SGA.
you have one?
SGA fan. I'm
Mhm.
I'm like a mini Kentucky fan just because of the guys that
Okay.
he produced. It's kind of a bandwagon thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
He was at Kentucky, and I loved SGA
Yeah.
on the Clippers for that year in the
Mhm.
playoff push, whatever. So I'd love to see him get it. But I mean, yeah, he'd be awesome. I don't know. I There's still a weird like timing thing with me because last year
Yeah.
he just wasn't in the conversation, and for him to go from just not being there all the way up to top three it blows my mind. If he's able to do it, props to him.
Yeah.
Um, if anything, I think next year would be his year. Like that would make way more sense. I'd probably be rooting for him.
Mhm.
He might be one or two next year, just
Mhm.
as it's been going. Um, it's probably a homer pick. I don't even care anymore. But the honest stuff this year, I think
That too, I forgot.
this is the best season Giannis has ever played, and
Yeah.
I don't want to. I could say that every year, like just a homer bias. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to say that. I think this
Mhm.
is like his statistically what he's able to do, his developments, and he's won two MVPs before, and I think this
Yeah.
year he's better than those years. It just it's a weird thing. I don't have a vote, so I
Mhm.
can't, you know,
Yeah.
there's only so much I can do, but
Right.
it just boggles my mind. He is on another level. And then Jokic, obviously, yeah, he's still killing it. I don't think
Yeah.
I hate the not the recency bias, but um
The
whatever you
voter fatigue, people bring on voter fatigue
voter
kind of
fatigue.
thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hate
that
that.
concept.
I wish that wasn't such a thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another tight one. I mean, I guess we'll have to see who takes it home.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely forgot about, obviously, on the season. Been focused on the West a lot more this year. Just kind of seeing how it's playing out. Obviously, taking a little step back from the league, just like seeing it from a broader perspective, and not really focusing too much on the MVP. Um, but yeah, no, I could see between them three, it's gonna be quite the race to the finish for sure.
Yeah.